Would like to call to order the Norwood City School District Board of Education. This is our regular meeting, and today is Thursday, November the 21st, 2024. The Norwood City School District Board of Education follows a bi-monthly meeting schedule. The first meeting of the month is called our committee meeting. At this meeting, we discuss fully our agenda for the board meeting to be held the third Thursday of each month. As board members, we encourage you to attend, watch, and listen to our committee discussion, resulting in action at the board meetings. For full disclosure, our committee meetings and board meetings are always announced, video and audio taped, as well as posted to our webpage for your view. All of our meetings are public and visitors are welcome. Mrs. Camphouse, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Atwood.
Present.
Ms. Ballard. Present. Mrs. Rarica.
Present.
Mr. Taylor.
Present.
Mrs. Cole.
Present. All right, if you would please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 1.04 on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I
Mrs.
just think it's funny that we all just said the pledge to the Ohio flag instead of the United States.
Oh, there's
flag.
one right there.
There's one right there.
Oh, good. Oh, shoot.
I was like,
We're saved. We're saved. Forget I said that.
Mrs. Camphouse?
Mr. Atwood.
Yes.
Ms. Ballard. Yes. Mrs. Rarica.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, item 1.05, these are our minutes from the regular meeting held October 17th. 1.06, these are the minutes from Finance Committee held November 12th. 1.07, these are the minutes from the committee meeting November 12th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes listed in 1.05 through 1.07?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse?
Mr. Atwood.
Yes.
Ms. Ballard. Yes. Mrs. Rarica.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, with that approved, we can move on to item 2. This is the presentation section. So we have our Rising Stars and Director of Curriculum, Mrs. Chesson, and our Special Education Director, Mrs. Havlin, and our Williams Avenue Principal, Mr. Joe Miller, will be taking over to recognize our Rising Stars.
Thank you, Madam President. We are thrilled to be here tonight to recognize our Rising Stars. So happy you all came out in the weather. So as you're all getting seated, we will start with our first school. When we call your name, students.
I was just making sure the mic was on.
When we call your name, students, please come forward. We're going to hand you a certificate and say some wonderful things about you. And then we're going to stand up here all together and you can take some pictures with board members. So first up, we're going to start with Sharpsburg Elementary Rising Star, Aubrey Nolan. Please come down. Thank you, Aubrey. She exemplifies a PACS leader through her hard work and her active classroom participation. I'm going to have you get your certificate from Mrs. Ballard. She achieved straight A's in her first quarter and maintained excellent attendance. Beyond academics, Aubrey is kind and considerate friend, always ready to assist classmates in need. She fosters an inclusive environment, offering to help those who are struggling or comforting peers feeling sad. She's actively engaged in group work, ensuring that no one feels left out, and supports her teachers by assisting with various tasks. Her exceptional character and contributions make her a shining star at Sharpsburg Elementary. Congratulations.
All right. Yep, stay right up there. All right, Norwood View Elementary Rising Star, Summer Underwood. Summer is the rising star for the second grade at Norwood View. Summer sets a great example for other students to follow. She is hardworking and conscientious. Summer is always eager to help and find ways to help her teacher without asking. She is a great partner to all students. She is also good at reminding others to be a PAX leader while they are in the classroom, in the hall, at recess, and even in the lunchroom. We are proud to nominate such a helpful student. Congratulations to Summer.
Gotcha. I gotta take these off. Next up, we have Williams Avenue Rising Star for the month of November, Mr. Gus Bertkey. Gus is a fourth grader. He has earned the Rising Star Award for being a leader who sets a positive example by working hard and helping others. He is committed to doing his best while consistently showing respect and kindness to those around him. His teachers are incredibly proud of the growth, determination, and heart that Gus brings to everything he does. He is an outstanding example of what it means to be a rising star, and we celebrate him for making Williams Avenue Elementary a brighter place every day. Congratulations, Gus.
All right, next up we have the Norwood Montessori School Rising Star, Gus Robinson. Gus is a shining example of a PAX leader, exemplifying our 3 school rules: taking care of ourselves, other living things, and the environment. Gus is a hard worker and always eager to learn new things. Not only does Gus work hard on his academics, he has put forth the effort to improve work habits. He also loves to share his knowledge with his classmates and teacher, especially when it involves his favorite subjects like outer space. Gus is kind, funny, and a great conversationalist. Congratulations, Gus. You are truly a role model and a rising star.
Norwood Middle School Rising Star, Malia Metz. Malia is a remarkable addition to Norwood Middle School, demonstrating exceptional adaptability and enthusiasm. She navigated the challenge of a new school with poise and determination. Malia actively engages in class discussions and activity, consistently showcasing her dedication. Her positive attitude and her eagerness to excel make her an absolute joy to teach. Congratulations.
All right. Norwood High School Rising Star student, Janan Bahar. Janan's dedication to her work is truly inspiring. She puts an extra effort to succeed, mastering AP Biology and 2 languages, a remarkable achievement. Janan combines her determination with a fantastic sense of humor and easily collaborates with her lab partners. Her intelligence, kindness, and work ethic make her an invaluable member of our class. She brings great effort and energy each day, setting a wonderful example for everyone around her. Congratulations.
Our Norwood Athletic Rising Star, Aubrey Sirocco. Aubrey is a welcome addition to the Norwood varsity volleyball program as a freshman athlete. She displayed strong leadership traits and found a place in the starting rotation. She is quite the competitor, and her level of play will continue to rise in the Norwood volleyball program. She earned second team All-Miami Valley Conference this season in the Scarlet Division, which is quite competitive. Aubrey also is a good student and is well liked by her peers. Congratulations.
All right. District Creative Arts Rising Star, Elise Brown. The art department at Norwood View Elementary is proud to nominate Elise. In the art room, Elise continuously displays a sophisticated yet playful approach to any project that comes her way. She manages to put her own spin and style on every piece of art that she creates. She loves drawing, sculpting, and just making art. Painting is her absolute favorite thing to do in art class. Elise continues to explore artistic avenues at home by crocheting and making origami. A dream of hers is to own her own business selling her crocheted creations. She is currently working on a stuffed fox. Elise also enjoys hanging out with her friends, having dinner with her family, while discussing peaks and pits of the day and playing video games with her older brother. Elise is a unique young lady whose positive and creative spirit helps her excel in all areas. Students like Elise make Norwood City School District great. Congratulations.
Our district staff rising star is Miss Denisha Wade. There we go. Williams Avenue Elementary is so proud to recognize Miss Wade as the November staff rising star. The impact that she has had on staff, students, and community has been immediate and profound. Ms. Wade's contributions to our school community include, but certainly are not limited to, teaching second step SEL lessons to students, supporting our staff in the many challenges they face, sharing student PACS leadership recognition with their families through the monthly PACS awards ceremony, and organizing Williams Avenue's first annual Veterans Recognition Indoor Parade. Her dedication to staff and students is at the highest level. She has the heart for this work for our students, staff, and families. Congratulations to you, Ms. Wade.
Okay, so Rising Stars, the board members are going to come around and congratulate all of you, and then we're going to do a group photo.
Congratulations also, Gus. You guys are the same age as Gus. Good work.
Okay, so Rising Stars, can we shift 3 steps this way to slide 3 steps over? Keep coming. And next, I'm just going to step forward. And could I have you come over here and step forward, please? And then you scoot in a little bit more. Then we're a little bit help from that.
I think I have everyone. Okay, we ready? 1, 2, 3.
Now you all can hold your certificates up if you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
So show
Not in
Miss
front of your
Allen.
face.
Bring it down. Okay, ready? 1,
Big smiles.
2, 3. I'm gonna do one more.
Big smile.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Good job. At this time, we invite the Rising Stars and all their very important people that they brought with them this evening to follow Miss Havlin out to the lobby for some family photos and some friends photos. Thank you all for being here.
And then come back for our exciting meeting. I'm going to tell you about next year's school calendar, and it is something interesting. But they're going to know over a year in advance. Well, actually, about a year in advance, because it'll be a little. What's today? Today's the 23rd. Just about a year.
Wow.
If only this had happened when my kids were little.
That's different.
I still got 1 year for Carrie. Also, my dad's gonna sell his condo, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, we didn't even know this year. They didn't sell it yet, so we're like, okay.
Oh, those were for me. The Ferrero Rochers. That's what she told me secretly that those were mine. Yeah.
It was for the board members to share.
Yeah, Janan, those were supposed to be for me, right? The delivery fee.
She gonna bring you one now.
These are my absolute favorite, Janan. Thank you and congratulations. I won't be greedy. Thank you. If you insist, I'll take Julie's. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
I don't think I can.
Oh, she's allergic to nuts. You can't eat them.
Thank you
they
very
look-
much.
They are
Thank
the
you very
absolute
much.
best.
And I bet they smell really good too.
Hint, hint. These are my favorite. Just saying. Hint, hint. These,
I mean,
you know.
aren't they filled with hazelnut stuff?
They are. You
They
can't
are.
eat them. You're
I should
allergic.
not eat
Don't
that.
eat them. You're allergic. I'll be nice,
My
Alice. I'll
skin
save
is
them for
already like all pinky because I took a shower for all y'all before this.
Oh, do we have our friend here?
And I'm all scrubbed and
friend
my
joining
cheeks
us?
are red. And if I ate
Where's
that,
the
then we
folder?
really. Oh, here's
Hello.
one of our rising stars. We heard all kinds of wonderful things about you. Oh
Here, we have Mrs. Chesson will come back up.
But it'll take them a minute to take the pictures anyways. Miss Chesson's gonna read it again.
This is your certificate. I'm so glad that you made it.
Yes. So if everybody would like to direct their attention, we have another rising star that has been able to join us.
Okay, we're so thrilled to have Norwood Middle School Rising Star, Malia Metz. We're going to share some nice things about Malia.
That's right. Let's hear about Malia.
Malia is a remarkable addition to Norwood Middle School, demonstrating exceptional adaptability and enthusiasm. She has seamlessly navigated the challenge of the new school with poise and determination. Malia actively engages in class discussions and activities, consistently showcasing her dedication to learning. Her positive attitude and eagerness to excel make her an absolute joy to teach. Congratulations, Malia.
Hold your thing up for your mom.
Okay.
I believe they're also doing some photos.
Yes, we are doing some photos for the families in the lobby. So at this time, we invite all the families to go to the lobby for some nice group photos. Thank you for being here.
Don't worry. You came in at just the right time.
First snow day, it was an accident. I got rerouted. I was like, you don't have a dead insurance.
Okay, continuing on with our agenda, we are now on item 3, which is personnel superintendent recommendations. So I will turn it over to our superintendent, Mrs. Ronan.
Thank you, Madam President. In 3.01, we do have a termination during probationary period of an individual. In 3.02, we do have 4 resignations for other positions, so we want to thank all these individuals for the years with our district and wish you well in your new positions. 3.03 is employment. Item number 1, you see supplemental contracts for extra responsibilities on the part of staff members. In addition, we have our courier driver. Usemal is replacing Kenny Stacy, who we all miss terribly, and Kenny did this for us in addition to his food service deliveries, so Usemal will be taking his position as our courier. Also, avenues for success, we have several individuals who are going to be club advisors after school. And under change of status, we have several individuals moving from part-time to full-time status. So I'm going to stop there because we do have a voting box.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Ronan. Do I have a motion to approve 3.01 through 3.03, and 3.03 would only include sub-item 1 at this point?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Miss Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes.
All right, then our next item is, we're so excited that we have 6 employees who are licensed to drive our new van for transporting students when needed to go on field trips or for work experiences. So there's also a voting box after that. This is a combination of teachers and also our classified staff. So we've got both sets of individuals who stepped up and said they would do that.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the van drivers?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I will be abstaining from this vote. Mrs. Camp House?
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Miss Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Abstain.
All right, thank you. Item 2 is our coaches and advisors. As you can see on the next page, we are still hiring for winter sports. So you will be approving our winter sports coaches.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve sub-item 2 under 3.02?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right. Mrs. Camp House?
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Miss Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes.
And thank you, that concludes my report.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Ronan. All right, moving on, item 4, this is Education Committee, and I will be turning this over to Board Member Mrs. Rarica.
Thank you, Madam President. We have 6 field trips coming up. Williams Avenue going to Xavier, Sharpsburg going to Green Acres, Norwood Montessori, also Green Acres, the middle school going to Xavier, Norwood High School Orchestra going to Chicago. I know that won't be for a long time. It doesn't say the date, but it's next year. And the Norwood Montessori School going to the Children's Theater.
And Mrs. Rarica, I think there's a 7th one we have online that did not get printed out, and that is
Tell
a
me about it.
holiday celebration for special needs students. It's the same group that did the trunk or treat. So they're asking to use the high school cafeteria on a Saturday in December for that
That's
event.
for facility usage?
Yes. Oh,
That's later.
you're right, it's facilities usage. Yes.
It sounds
Thank
fun.
you.
We should
So-
probably say it twice. So-
Yes.
And it is, and
It's
it
good
is
to
on the
hear
list. It is on the list for mine.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, so I will move to approve our field trips.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Miss Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes.
Okay, I have a second item. I think it's pretty exciting because I know I love to know way ahead of time what our schedule is for next year. This is next year's calendar schedule. I know you can't read it, but I'm just holding it up because I'm so excited. Next year's Thanksgiving, very important. Take note now. Start making your plans now. Next year for Thanksgiving, we will be out the entire week. We will not go to school Monday, Tuesday. Out the entire week. And we will start the year tiny, 2 days earlier, basically, on August 14th to make up for that. And spring break is again the last week in March. And that's all the exciting stuff.
And we're still out by Memorial Day.
Yes, and we're out so early, May 22nd. So yeah, Memorial Day is early this year. So that'll make up for your August sadness. So I move that we approve this calendar.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? I try not to talk
First
too
day
much.
of school is so early.
Yeah, but they
That's
get,
so
but they
early.
get out so early too.
I know, but it's like it's still pool weather in August, and it's not quite pool weather in May, and that's that's the difference.
Depends on the year, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
still pretty hot. But they can still go to the pool on the weekend, and at 3, right after school, or play in the sprinkler or the hose or something.
Mrs. Camphouse?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Miss Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, with that section approved, we can move on to item 5 on the agenda. This is Policy Committee, and I will turn it over to Vice President, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a few policies and revisions to read for their second reading. All right. Here we go. First one is DAB, General Fund Balance, General Revenue Fund Balance. OSBA is now recommending a cash balance policy for the general fund. We have had this policy for years. We are now updating it to include a cash balance ceiling not to exceed 200 days cash. This reaffirms our commitment to the education of our students. DJ, Purchasing, allows for future changes to be made to the regulation by the Treasurer and Finance Committee. DJF, Purchasing Procedures, further defining purchasing procedures related to then and now. DJF-R, Purchasing Procedures, changes to qualifications to the consortium purchasing, clarify allowances and approval of federal purchases and technology. DID, Inventory, increase the capitalized equipment threshold to $10,000 and further defining regulation on those purchases. DJH, why is there starting to? DJH, credit card is revised to further tighten credit card controls. DJC, bidding requirements, changes to the bid requirements which include further definition on construction and to remove bidding requirements for security and protection of school property. DM, deposit of public funds, has been updated to reflect revisions to cash acceptance and ticket prices. EBCE, protection for reporting safety and fraud violations, updated to reflect new requirements regarding training and when individuals must report fraud to AOS. EBCE-R, protection for reporting safety and fraud violations, updated to reflect new requirements regarding training and when individuals must report fraud to AOS. EBCE-E, acknowledgement of receipt of auditor of state fraud, reporting system information, AOS model form that must be provided to employees and board members, notifying them of AOS fraud reporting system and training requirements that apply to them. EBCE-E. This has been, removed. Protection for safety and fraud violations. Remove and replace with EBCE-E. GCD, professional staff hiring, updated to reflect changes to public notice for retire, rehire to reduce wait time for rehiring process. GDC/GD, support staff recruiting, posting of vacancies and hiring, updated to reflect changes to public notice for retire, rehire to reduce wait time for the rehiring process. JEDC, religious expression days. RC 3320.04 requires schools adopt a policy that reasonably accommodates sincerely held religious beliefs and practices of students. JEDA, truancy, updated with clarification that religious expression days will not count towards determining hours of absence under RC 3321.191. JED, student absences and excuses, updated to reflect creation of religious expression days. ACC, political commitments. RC 3319.614 requires districts to adopt a policy to prohibit statements of commitments to political movements or ideologies. BDDG, minutes, updated reflect new provision that minutes must be read and adopted at the next regular meeting of the board. BDDH, also KD, updated to Norwood resident. And KD, also BDDH, public participation, updated to Norwood resident. I would like to make a motion to adopt the second reading of the new policies and the revisions.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, so with that approved, those policies are now in effect with the second, since that was the second reading. All right, continuing on with the agenda, item 6, this is building grounds, and I will turn this over to Ms. Ballard.
Thank you, Madam President. We have 2 items listed for approval this evening. First is Bigger Than Sneakers, using the Norwood High School gym for their nonprofit holiday gift-giving event on Sunday, December 15th from 2 to 8. And the second is provided for the Norwood Special Needs families in the Norwood High School cafeteria for their holiday celebration on Saturday, December 14th from 1:30 to 4:30. Their last year's event grew beyond their ability for space, so they'd like to use our space, and I really think that's an amazing thing that their event got so big they need to borrow our cafeteria. So I would like to motion that we approve both of these amazing events for our Norwood families.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, we can continue on item 7. This is Finance Committee, and I am going to turn this over to our treasurer, Mrs. Camp House.
Thank you, Madam President. On the agenda, 7.01, the CFO report, monthly financials and change order listings are attached for your review and approval this evening. If you look at the change order listings, you will see that we are nearing the end of all open construction projects. 7.02, appropriation resolution, the approval of our current year budget. 7.03, amended official certificate of estimated resources, the approval of our current expected revenues for this year. 7.04, donations. We got some really great donations this evening. Norwood Athletic Boosters have donated $25,000 to be used for the replacement of some of the gym scoreboards and the upgrades of others. This is a fantastic donation and will benefit children in our schools for many years to come. So thank you very much to the boosters for this really great donation. Another donation is from Norwood Winton Carthage Lodge, donated $500 to be used for families in need. And Kroger Community Awards for Avenues for Success came in to $1,101.23 for this quarter. 7.05, 5-year forecasted assumptions. We reviewed the 5-year forecast in public session last week at our committee meeting. Tonight we are approving it, and tomorrow I will file it with the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce Development. 7.06, a special education agreement, an agreement with Ohio Valley Voices for a student qualified through IEP. 7.07, to approve a quote to Central Installation Systems to approve a quote for hazardous material removal from the North Norwood building. And the last one, 7.08, a resolution to approve a modified tax budget. Every year, we approve a tax budget, which is a financial document prepared on the tax year basis, not our fiscal year. As such, it has limited use for our needs since it's on a calendar year. It serves mainly to provide compliance for the county auditor. Because of that, we can file a modified or simpler tax budget to fill the same need. So your approval there lets me file that reduced tax budget. And that is finance.
Thank you, Mrs. Camphouse. Do I have a motion to approve 7.01 through 7.08?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I have one item. For 7.06, I would ask that we separate out that vote. I would have to abstain for Ohio Valley Voices. I have a conflict of interest that I can't vote on things that are part of my employment. So I didn't realize that that was part of this report. Would it be possible to separate out 7.06?
I will amend my motion to exclude 7.06 so we could vote on it separately.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Anything else? Obviously, a huge thank you for our donations, the athletic boosters, the Winton Carthage Lodge, and those of you that have your Kroger card linked to Avenues for Success. Those are amazing donations to come in. I'm excited to see the new scoreboards. That's definitely needed.
I know the athletic boosters work very hard to get all that money. They're constantly at the concessions and doing the things. And
Anything else? All right, Mrs. Camphouse?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
yes,
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion that we approve 7.06, which is the special education agreement for Ohio Valley Voices.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Else.
Me.
Thank you.
All right, Mrs. Camphouse?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Abstain?
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes,
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, item 8 on our agenda is the hearing of the public. I do not have any forms for anybody to speak tonight, so we can move on to item 9, which is the report section, 9.01, board announcements. So I will open the floor to any board members that would like to share anything.
there's an orchestra concert tonight, and there was a play this weekend. It was Emma.
I went on Sunday.
I was sick.
Oh,
I know.
anything else?
I would like to say congratulations to all 3 Little Indians football teams for winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Every team brought home 3 Super Bowl trophies this year, so congratulations to them.
It is amazing. We need more kids next year,
Absolutely.
so we can have more teens and more Super Bowl winners. Anything else? All right, I can move on to 9.02. This is our superintendent's report, and I will turn it over to Superintendent Mrs. Roman.
Thank you, Madam President. This evening, I am presenting the Nutrition Services Report for the school year 23-24. This is required by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. As you know, Norwood is in a consortium with other small school districts that contract with Milford schools to get the economies of scale, which are so important with the high cost of food. Milford Nutrition Services meets all state and federal guidelines. The most recent standards actually are starting next year, involve new sugar restrictions in addition to low-fat requirements and sodium restrictions. The menu is on a monthly cycle, as seen on the screen. As you can see, students must or may select 3 of the 5 items, but one must always be a fruit or a vegetable. There were a lot of meals served in Norwood last year. As you can see, there's about 127,000 lunches and, breakfasts, and then lunch over 200,000 plus a snack at no cost to students. Students may also purchase a la carte items with their electronic accounts. Summer lunches are also provided to students in the Summers program at Avenue Success, or students may, a summer school, and students may just drop in for lunch at usually between 11:30 and 12:30 during the summer. And as you can see, they mentioned the new sugar restrictions there. That is being started this year by Milford. The goals that the nutrition services were working on last year also continue this year. They're running a second chance breakfast for high school students after first bell. So high school and middle students can pick up a bag breakfast if they miss breakfast after first bell. Also, Milford Food Services are working with an organization that picks up unused food and takes it to a food pantry so no food goes to waste. And the really, really, really good news is that we have been approved for 4 more years on the Community Eligibility Program, which means free breakfast and lunch for all of our students for 4 more years, which is great. So, I was going to say that concludes my report, but it does not. I also want to talk about the wonderful annual Veterans Day program that Norwood View Elementary puts on every year. There were, about 24 veterans this year. There was a reception in the library. Kroger was generous. They provided the food. Then there's the big parade throughout the building and the flag raising out in back of the school. And I'm going to pass this around. These are the speeches that the students made, and they gave us a copy so you could read the speeches that the 3 students gave to the veterans and everyone in the auditorium. So it was really just a very, very lovely afternoon. So we do want to honor our veterans. So thank you, and now this does conclude my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Ronan. Norwood View does an absolutely amazing job with that program. I know, because both of my boys went through Norwood View, and that's such a big highlight of their year. They really put a lot of work in that, so everybody should be commended. I forgot to mention in board announcements, several members of the board, Amber, myself, Mike, Mrs. Ronan, and Mrs. Camphouse went to the OSBA Capital Conference in Columbus. So we were up there learning all the new things that we need to know about being school board members and administrators in the district. So I wanted to mention that as well. All right, 9.03, this is our Great Oaks report. So I will turn it over to Ms. Ballard.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, one of the really exciting things that happened at OSBA was that our board president, Mary Cleveland, that serves currently on the Princeton City School Board and is our board president at Great Oaks, was promoted to OSBA's president starting next year. So she is the president-elect and was announced on Veterans Day during their ceremony, where they also recognized the veterans there at the event. So congratulations to Mrs. Cleveland on her achievement. We also recognized several other board members for receiving their awards, including myself. At our last meeting, I received the Aptitude and Recognition Awards. We also had the Live Oaks update for one of our campuses. I think I told you guys last year that our Raiders team, which is one of our ROTC groups, last year the men's and women's teams both won full ride scholarships. This year that competition happened again, and our females won the championship again. There were 24 students that were a part of the USACC Junior ROTC National Raider Challenge at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and they were awarded all 4-year unconditional full ride Army scholarships for their efforts. Our gentlemen did not place in the #1 slot again, but they were in the top 5, so we are still very proud of those students. We were also given our Live Oaks update. We have began a new renovation project on that campus, and they had been recognized by a local magazine called Learning by Design for Outstanding Project Award for the developments that we have been doing and improvements to that campus. We also approved a new project coming with a new partner called Omnia. They're doing a purchase cooperative that specializes in our capital improvement projects, and the committee is being provided updates on some upcoming Scarlet Oaks projects as well that are supposed to begin starting in December. And some of those involve our HVAC systems that are pretty outdated, that started over the summer, and then we're going to go into some more capital improvements as the year goes on. We also opened up our applications starting on November 15th, so those just opened. So students who are considering to enter the lottery, the drawing is held on February 4th. So we've already been receiving copies of the 25-26 program catalog. So those are available online for anyone who is interested in potentially attending the Oaks programs. Those applications are now open, and I encourage you to look at the website for information. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Ballard. And congratulations now on officially being a star with your AFR.
All right, all the letters?
All the letters.
All the letters.
9.04, this is Norwood Community Television, which is my committee. I do not have a report this month. So, Ms. Ballard, I'm going to turn it right back to you for 9.05, which is our OSBA Legislative Liaison Report.
Thank you again, Madam President. Well, they are currently in lame duck session, so that's pretty much it. Now that the election is over, General Assembly will return to the State House for some lame duck sessions before the end of the year. The Senate will not return this past week for committee hearings, but they did have some scheduled hearings starting on the 13th. The House does not have a schedule until December, but they will be holding various committee hearings starting also last week on the 12th. They do have some new bills that were introduced. One was House Bill 645 by Dunny Isaacson. He's a local rep from this area, and Thomas Hall. They would like to authorize a refundable income tax credit or rebate for homeowners and renters whose property taxes or a portion of their rent exceed 5% of their income, which could have potential effect with how much is gathered here for schools. And House Bill 655, which is a property tax freeze for certain owner-occupied homes pending application approvals. So those two we're going to keep an eye out. Those folks, I believe, also have to have a total annual income requirement, and they have to be enrolled in either Medicaid or Medicare programs to qualify for that tax break. And that's all I have while they're in lame duck, and hopefully we'll have some more next month.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Ballard. 9.06, this is our Avenues for Success, and I will turn it over to Mrs. Rarica.
Thank you, Madam President. So Avenues for Success just ran a 3-day donation drive for victims of Hurricane Helene in the area of North Carolina and all around there. And they filled 3 20-foot U-Haul trucks full of donations that they're taking to Matthew 25 in Blue Ash, who will be able to disseminate that. They have lots of people to thank. Let's just say the students were Sarah Timmerding, Oliver Leon, Lane Pierce, and Shane Leon, who helped tremendously. Some alumni helped, school families, staff, and their community partners, Kroger, more staff, and Avenues for Success staff. So many people to thank for this. I think it was a huge endeavor, and this is just really, really amazing that we were able to do that. And that's it.
The pictures were awesome from that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to item 10. This is our future meeting notifications. So our next meeting will be Tuesday, December the 10th at 6 p.m. That will be our committee meeting, and committee meetings happen at the Board of Education office. And then our regular board meeting would be Thursday, December 19th at 6 o'clock here in the mini auditorium. So do I have a motion to approve the future meetings as listed?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I will not be here on the 10th. That's the Southwest Regional meeting, and as long as my flight's on time, coming back from the conference, then I should be attending that.
Okay. Anything else? All right, Mrs. Camphouse?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, with that approved, we are at adjournment. Item 11.01 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. The time is 6:50 and we are adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.